My sister grabbed my 7-year-old son by the hair, over a dress. That's how it started. 1 second, it was just a normal Saturday. Backyard barbecue, family laughing, nothing serious, the kind of day where everyone lets their guard down. Theo was running across the grass, holding his little toy plane, completely lost in his own world, laughing, carefree. He didn't even understand what he did wrong. And then she arrived, my sister, dressed like the entire day was meant for her. Long beige gown, perfect posture, slow, careful steps. Like every eye should already be on her. Theo didn't see her coming. He was mid-run, and in one small, careless step, his shoe caught the edge of her dress. It barely pulled. Nothing ripped, nothing dramatic. But the reaction? Immediate. The entire yard went silent. She froze, hand to her mouth, like something terrible just happened. But her eyes? They weren't shocked. They locked onto him, cold, sharp, and then she moved. Fast, too fast. Before anyone could react, she grabbed him, not his arm, not his shirt, his hair, and she yanked, hard. Theo screamed. His body dropped to the ground as she dragged him across the stone path. His knees scraped. His hands clawed at the dirt. "I told you to watch where you're going," she snapped, like he had done something unforgivable. I ran, everything blurred. "Let him go," I shouted, but she didn't. She pulled him again, like he owed her something, like his pain didn't matter, and for a split second, I looked around, waiting, for someone, anyone, to step in. But no one moved, and that's when I realized this wasn't going to end the way I thought, because what happened next was worse than what she did. No one stopped her, not my father, not my mother, not a single person sitting there. They just watched, like it wasn't their grandson being dragged across the ground, like this was normal. I reached them and shoved her back, hard. She stumbled, gasping, one hand flying to her chest, the other clutching that stupid dress like she was the one who'd been hurt. Theo ran straight into me, shaking, crying so hard he couldn't even speak. I dropped to my knees, pulling him close. "It's okay. I've got you," I whispered. But it wasn't okay, not even close. His curls, his favorite curls, were tangled with dirt, and when I moved his hair back, I saw it, red patches, strands missing. My stomach dropped. "She hurt him," I said, my voice shaking. "Look at what you did!" But before she could even respond, my father stepped forward, not toward her, toward me. "You need to control your son," he snapped. I froze. "What?" "He's always running wild," he continued. "Now look, Lauren's dress is ruined." "Ruined?" I stared at him, waiting for the part where he would realize what he just said. It didn't come. My mother crossed her arms, shaking her head. "This wouldn't happen if you disciplined him properly." I felt something crack inside me. Not loud, not dramatic, just final. "You're defending her?" I asked quietly. She dragged him across the ground. "It was a mistake," my dad said flatly. "Stop making this into a scene." A mistake. Theo tightened his grip on my shirt, like if he let go, something worse would happen. That night, I stopped reacting and started preparing. I wasn't guessing anymore. I was building a case. I documented everything, the scrapes, the scalp, the missing hair. Theo sat still while I took the photos, too still, not crying, just quiet. "Mom," he said softly, "am I in trouble?" That question hit harder than anything that happened in that yard. "No," I said, "you didn't do anything wrong." But the way he looked at me, like he wasn't sure, that stayed. And that's when it shifted for me. This wasn't just about what she did. It was about what it did to him. So I moved. I filed a police report, called a lawyer, and then I went deeper. I went back through everything, messages, voice notes, old conversations. And the more I looked, the worse it got. Lauren calling him too much, out of control, a problem, not once, again and again. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. This wasn't one moment, it was a pattern. 3 days later, my mother sent a message in the family group chat. Dinner on Friday, don't forget dessert. That was it. No apology, no mention of Theo. Nothing, like none of it happened. Like he wasn't still waking up in the middle of the night. Scared. And Lauren? She was online, posting photos, smiling, talking about kindness and family. Like no one would ever question her. That's when I made the decision. I sent everything to my lawyer, every photo, every message, every recording. And then I took it further, because if they were going to act like nothing happened, I was going to make sure they couldn't hide it. And what I did next is what turned this into something they couldn't control. Friday night, they were already seated when I walked in, laughing, talking like nothing had happened, like my son hadn't been dragged across that same yard just days ago. I didn't sit. I didn't greet anyone. I walked straight to the table and placed the envelope in front of my father. "Read it," I said. The room went quiet. He frowned, slowly opening it. My mother leaned in. Lauren didn't move. Not yet. Then his expression changed. Confusion, then tension, then something sharper. "What is this?" he asked. "A formal complaint," I said. "Filed." Lauren finally looked up. "At who?" she said. I met her eyes. "At you." Silence. Heavy. "You're joking." She let out a short laugh. "Over that?" He stepped on my dress. "No," I said. "This is about what you did after." My father pushed the papers back toward me. "You're taking this too far." "No," I said calmly. "I'm finishing it." And then I took out my phone, pressed play. Her voice filled the room, sharp, loud, angry. "Look what you did! You ruined it!" Theo crying in the background, begging, no one stepping in, no one stopping her. The sound echoed off the walls, and this time, no one could pretend it didn't happen. My mother's face went pale. My father didn't say a word. Lauren stood up so fast her chair scraped the floor. "Turn that off," she snapped. I didn't. I let it play. Every second, every word, until the silence came back, heavier than before. "You recorded me?" she said, stunned. "Yes," I said, and then I added, "It's already been sent." Her expression broke. "What do you mean, sent?" I held her gaze. "To your sponsors?" A pause. "To the board of your mentorship program?" Another. "And to every parent who trusted you around their kids." The room shifted. You could feel it. This wasn't private anymore. This wasn't something they could smooth over. This was exposure. Real. Permanent. "You're ruining my life," she said, her voice shaking now. I didn't raise mine. "You did that yourself." And for the first time, no one defended her. But what happened after that? That's when it really started costing them. It didn't take long. By Monday morning, people started pulling away, quietly at first. One sponsor stepped back, then another. No announcements, no explanations, just distance. By the end of the week, her mentorship program suspended her. Parents started asking questions, the kind you can't ignore once they're asked. And for the first time, her image didn't protect her. It worked against her. Lauren called me 3 days later, not angry, not screaming, just different. "They're dropping me," she said. "All of them." I didn't respond. "They think I'm dangerous," she added, her voice cracking slightly. I let the silence sit between us, because now she could hear it too. "This is going too far," she said, softer this time. "You made your point." I finally spoke. "No," I said. "You just didn't expect consequences." She didn't argue. She couldn't. Because this wasn't about winning anymore. It was about what she lost, and she knew it. A few days later, the legal notice was finalized. She wasn't allowed near Theo, not at family events, not privately, not at all. 200 yards, minimum, signed, enforced. And my parents? They stopped calling, not because they understood, but because they couldn't control it anymore. The silence that followed was different this time, permanent. That night, Theo fell asleep on the couch, still holding that same toy plane. I sat beside him, brushing his hair back gently. Careful, always careful now. He stirred slightly, then whispered, "She can't hurt me anymore, right?" I leaned down, kissed his forehead. "No," I said quietly. "Not anymore." And this time, it was true. Because some things don't end with apologies. They end with distance. And the moment they chose her over him was the moment they lost us for good.